Hi and welcome to Everyday Vlogging with Rich Pasini. Today is January 16th, 2019. Thank you for tuning in. I just want to start off by saying thank you to all the new subscribers who have recently subscribed to my channel. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you like the content and come back for more. Today I want to talk about eBay. Just want to make some discussions about slow sales. Got a couple of new websites up there that show people getting scammed. And I want to share it with you guys out there. So if you are an eBay seller or you sell on any platforms, you may be interested. I just want people to know one thing though. in doing this news segment, if you want to call it that, I am not a pessimist by any means. I am more of an optimist. And in regards to doing business on eBay, I do like to voice my concerns and my issues and my opinions. eBay has been kind of slow right now. The business has been slow for me, but that's me. Now, there may be others out there, and I know for a fact that there are others out there that are doing very well on it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's maybe it's the items I have out there. Maybe they are too priced. Maybe they're not what people are looking for. I don't know, maybe eBay's got me down lower on the search engine, the search rankings. I don't know. Do I not get business because I complain to eBay? I mean, I have been calling up a couple of times last week and this week, inquiring about certain issues with returns. And I'm starting to wonder, I could be wrong, it's just, maybe you could just say, you're just thinking out of the box, so to speak. But I wonder sometimes if you're a person that calls up eBay and you are not a chronic complainer, but a person that complains a lot, I wonder if they kind of like push you to the side, if you sort of, if you know what I mean, so to speak. Now, some people may say that sounds crazy, but hey, a while back in one of my videos, I did a video about throttling, how eBay throttles sales. I don't know which video it is, but if you check it out, you'll know what I'm talking about. And I don't know if I have that window opened up, but I think e-commerce Bytes did a segment on that. And it talks about throttling sales. It actually was told by one of the employees there. I don't know who's they're still working there, but apparently they were talking about how eBay would throttle sales down. But anyway, I had a couple incidents myself before I get into the actual websites I want to show you. I had a couple of returns, well, not returns. One, I had a negative feedback, and I didn't even get a chance to respond to the buyer. And the buyer wrote in there, I'm looking at my feedbacks because I'm on eBay every day, and I noticed I had a minus on my feedback score. And it's like, uh-oh, that ain't good. So I looked, and lo and behold, it was a negative. And the buyer had written on there, not what I expected. So I called eBay up and I asked them. I said, "Listen, is there a way to get this negative removed? This negative taken off, negative feedback taken off my, my feedback score list, whatever." And the teammate said, "No, you can't do that because they can't do it. It has to be done by the buyer." And eBay wants you as the seller to contact the buyer and work it out amongst ourselves. Where they want to be like the the third person there, so to speak. The arbitration, whatever. We go. Me and the buyer will talk out our differences and see if we can come to a solution. And then eBay will and they also will make their final decision. It's like the judge and the jury, right? But anyway, I did that there. I contacted the buyer, and I was very nice about it. I just said hello. I go, hi, whatever. I just like to say, in regards to the negative feedback, I would have refunded you, give you a full 100% refund. I offer 30-day free returns and free shipping as well. And I wish you'd had contacted me prior to leaving negative feedback. I said I always work with my buyers, so I said, if you kindly contact me, I would like to, talk this out, work it out with you. So the buyer did respond to me about an hour later. I get a response from the buyer, and the buyer says, "Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to leave that there." Something on that line there. And he contacted eBay and said, well, if it was okay with you, could you kindly have that removed? I really would appreciate it. So I sent it out, waited about 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. He sends it back, and I guess he copied me or whatever, sent the eBay a copy, of course. And he said, hi, eBay. I left a negative feedback for the seller. It wasn't meant to be, or something along that line. Could you please remove it? So I called up eBay to find out if they could be done. They could escalate it right away. And they looked at the memo that the buyer had sent me, and they said, sure, we could take it off. I go, was it going to take a day or so, 24 hours, 48 hours? And they go, no, we'll do it right now. We could do it. It'll be like maybe 5-10 minutes. It'll come off. I said, great. That's wonderful news. So, at one point you get a negative feedback, and then within 5 minutes later, 5-10 minutes later, it's been removed. So I'm back to my 100% again. Like I told the eBay teammate or customer service rep, whatever they like to be called, a teammate, I think. That I have a stellar report with them. I have an impeccable record with eBay. I mean, I've been with them since 1999, 20 years on eBay, and I never really had a situation. I'm not saying I never had a feedback. I had one in the past, but it wasn't my fault. The buyer made an error, and eBay went along with it. At that time, they went along with it. But the only thing I got to say in retrospect to that is eBay, yes, they did do the right thing and stuff like that. They did help out as far as that part goes, gave me the recommendations to contact. But I would have contacted the buyer anyway, to be honest with you, whether they were going to tell me that or not. But that went good. That particular went good. I told the buyer after, I said, thank you very much. It's greatly appreciated. If you want a refund, please, you have to open a return case on your end, an eBay return on your end. I can't do it on mine. They have to do it with the buyer. So lo and behold, he didn't send it back. I didn't get any messages from him. So that would have had a happy ending on that one. The next day, I get another, not a negative feedback, I get a return. And the buyer, now I put in my descriptions, if there's things missing or whatever, I'll either highlight them in bold red lettering, or I will just, put it out there in bold lettering. If it's not like highlighted in red, I'll make it bold lettering. And in the thing, it was for the Tello. It's a device that it's a router that you buy. And what happened was it was my personal one, and I put it up on eBay. And with that, I didn't want to get rid of it. I didn't want to just throw it out. I could have thrown it in the garbage, which I should have at one point. But I said, hey, somebody may use the case on it. That's one thing. The case is like in really perfect condition, clean condition. I'm figuring maybe if somebody, maybe the thing got cracked, it got damaged. Maybe you couldn't use the components inside, but you could use the case itself. So I put in there in the ad, the unit was power's on. I said, but you only get it because I have like little digits on there, 1 and 2. I said, the 1 and 2 light comes on. So I tell the buyer that, I put that in there. And I said, please note, this does not come with an AC adapter or a user guide. I said, if you would like to purchase those will be sold separately on eBay. So, needless to say, he texted me, he sends me a message back saying, I'd like to return this here because, I needed the AC adapter. I said, well, I don't have the AC adapter. I said, it's been sold. He goes, do you have another one that you can exchange? I said, no, I don't have any more. I said, that's all I had. So I said, look, I called up eBay again on that particular case. This was all within a couple of days, mind you. This is not like a week later, a month later. This is one after another, one day, the other day, right? So I called up eBay. I said, look, this buyer here is telling me they want to send it back. The guy wants a full refund. I was like, full refund? I said, he's not accusing me, but he's saying that there's parts missing. Of course this thing's missing. There's the AC adapter missing and the user guide. I sold everything separate because I figured maybe people don't want to buy all three things. They just need the adapter or the main user guide. So I told him, I said, that's sold. I said, he messaged back, you have this? I said, no, that's been sold. I said, the only thing that's left on eBay right now is the user guide for that Uma. It's a Umatello. So I said, look, I said, I really don't want to have this, take it back. I told eBay, they go, well, that's up to the seller, the buyer. And they go, I go, yeah, but how does that work? He goes, well, if it doesn't, if you guys can't work it out, then we'll step in. And then we got to find out the condition. This is the really got me the ticker. This really got me tweaked. They go, because we don't know the condition of the unit. I said, wait a minute. I go, what do you mean the condition? I said, I've taken pictures of this thing. I said, it's not busted up and broken. I said, what do you think I do? I take nice pictures and then I throw it on the ground and I send it to the person and go, she goes, we don't know the condition of the item. I said, look at the photos. I said, it's right there, the condition. But what happens to that old saying? Every picture tells 1,000 words, right? So, I got a little tweaking. I got a little agitated with that rep. And I said to myself, you guys are funny. I said, you're saying the condition. I said, look at all the pictures. I took front side, back side, all four corners, top and bottom. I said, what more do you want to see? We don't need to know the condition. So what are you trying to say directly, that I sent this guy a bad box and, or it's different what's on the box? I mean, with the photos? I mean, come on, give me a break. So anyway, long story short, I told eBay, I said, look, I told the rep, I said, I don't really want it back. I said, be honest, I don't want it back. I said, they made the error. I said, it's all there. I go, look at my description. The teammate looks at it and she goes, oh yeah, I see you got that in there. You got the wording in there. No power, no AC adapter cord. But the buyer thought when he bought it, then he goes, how did you test it? Well, I tested it before I sold the AC adapter. So then I messaged him back and I told him, I said, look, you could probably buy a universal adapter. I said, just check the voltage on it. Sometimes it's a 4.5 volt, whatever, or maybe it might be a 6 volt. You could buy an AC adapter for it. If that's what you need, or if it's not for that, if you're not going to use that, I think he probably figured, here's my mindset, the way I think. He bought the Umatello thinking he was going to get all that stuff there, the booklet and the AC adapter, and he would have just, and if that was the case, what's he going to do? Take the AC adapter and send me back the other two things? It don't work that way. It don't work that way. Look, I have nothing against the buyers because the buyers are sellers too, and they probably go through the same thing, dealing with the same scenarios. But the thing is, please read the description. If you're going to buy something, read the description verbatim. Read every little detail. Don't sit there and read the first two, 3 lines and say, okay, that's it, I'm getting it. People always assume, oh, I assume I'm going to get that. You probably thought, oh, I assume I'm going to get. No, you can't assume. You know what they say about assuming, right? Right. So anyway, he says, the last message he sends me, I said, I really don't want to take it back. I said, but if you do, I will take it back on these conditions that you pay for return shipping. The shipping was going to cost $7.40. I said, there's no way I'm going to pay that. So if it would have got to a point like that where the buyer was going to open a case or make a case out of it, I would fight it to the end and say, hey, listen, eBay, what's the deal here? He bought this here with the intentions of he knew there was no AC adapter. What do we want to do here? Are you for me or against me? So anyway, he said, he sends me back on the last the last message he sends me back. He goes, I decided I'm going to keep it. It's not worth sending it back for $7.40 because I told him the thing sold for, I think it sold, my memory serves, $7.99 or something like that. So it was going to cost, he would have got a total of $14 back if I accepted his terms. I said, I'm not going to pay for the return shipping. I said, I'll give you the $7 what you paid for it or something like that. I didn't know it was $7 he paid for it. Yeah, he offered $7. I said, I'll give you the $7. But I said, well, I'm not going to pay for return shipping. These buyers, they make an error and then you got to pay for it. It comes out of your pocket. That's one thing that's got to change. I don't like that. And the only way I understand eBay, in order to be a top-rated seller, you have to offer free returns in some case. You don't have to, but you'll lose your top-rated seller status if you don't apply to those conditions. Okay, and I don't really like that. It's like, I'm being compelled to, go along to get along, so to speak. Oh, you want that top-rated seller on there? Well, you got to offer free 30-day return shipping, and you got to pay the return shipping. I mean, that's not fair. I'm not making any sales as it is. I mean, this is the 16th of January. What sales did I make? I mean, come on, But anyway, that's my story. I want to share with you guys. Because on the other video I did yesterday, that's what I was talking about. I said I had some eBay news to talk about. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. And anyway, let's get started with the issue here. This is in regards to scams. People, the buyers being scammed. And the other one is, I know there are certain probably followers out there that probably don't like when I talk about this, but uh, I go to a site called Down Detector eBay Community, and I know there might be a couple of people out there that commented on this thing here in regards to listen to those community chat boards and stuff. People sitting there, saying, "Oh, you shouldn't go to those things. Listen to them." A lot of negative people. But look, let me tell you something, folks. You could just say right now, I'm talking about a negative situation, but it's the truth. I mean, people have to know these things. We can't, even though there are eBay lovers out there, love eBay. They're diehard eBay people, and they love it. The facts are the facts, folks. And when people do go on these community chat boards or Down Detector, they're not going on there with the intentions to, bash eBay. Not necessarily. They say, well, some people do. Maybe they go on it with us. I don't know. Maybe they don't like. Here's my take to them. Here's what I have to say to people that feel that way. If you don't like eBay, it's really bothering you much, then get off it. Close your store, close your business, get rid of it, and close your account and go elsewhere if you really hate eBay that much. Okay? I don't hate it that much where I'm going to go to those extremes yet. Okay? Now, have I talked about closing the shop up someday? If I'm not making money off it, why stay on it? Why it's like a ship with a big hole on the side of it. You try to patch it up, and every time you try to patch it, it doesn't work. It still leaks. It's the same thing with this. I don't want to keep having money, bleeding money, or pouring money into a quote-unquote business, if you want to call it that, and it's not making me any money. I'm not getting any of the, as I say, ROI, return on your investment. What's the sense of being in it? So, I mean, right now, I'm hanging in there. I'm trying to, I'm hoping to keep my fingers crossed that things will change, and I will start making sales and start making money to pay my bills. Now, people may say, "Well, you sound like a complainer, or you're negative. You're coming out with negative things there. You may turn people." I'm not trying to turn anybody off, folks. I'm just saying like it is. Okay, I'm just telling it like it is. I'm not trying to, divert people's attention or sway their ideas of being entrepreneurs or wanting to start an eBay business. But at the same time, you also got to know the pros and cons with it as well. So, I mean, I'm sorry if people take it that way. It's not meant to be that way. So please don't look at it in those terms. But I have to honestly say, folks, back in the day, maybe, I don't know, back in 2010, 2011, whatever, all right, I didn't get too involved with it at the time because, like I said, I had a full-time job and stuff like that. And if I did sell on eBay, it was on and off type of thing. It's not like it is now, like a full hobby / full-time business now. It's basically, and that's what I'm doing it as. But if you see that it's a continuous trend where week after week, month after month goes by, and you're not making no money's coming in, or not enough of it's coming in, it's trickling in off of eBay sales, then there's a problem. Because now what you're doing is now you're taking whatever reserve money you have saved, and now you're feeding it. Now you gotta take that out of you're depleting your account, because now you gotta use that money to pay bills. Now people go into this business. I'm not saying, and people have to have the mindset. And same thing with me. I mean, people say, you've been in here for 2 years and you expect them to become an overnight success. Absolutely, positively not. The only thing I say in regards to selling on this platform, any platform, and they're all the same, Poshmark, Etsy. I get Google alerts on all of these, other selling platforms. I do. And the reason why I don't put them on is because we will be here for hours on end. But I get them from all the sources, all the top selling platforms. I get all the Google alerts on them. Okay? And I can sit here verbatim and talk about each and every one of them, and it's not going to do a whole heck good, because what good is it going to do? You're going to hear, people sitting there talking, or you're going to hear me talking about, oh, yeah, so your Etsy's not doing good. People ain't making sales on Etsy, Mercari, Poshmark, this, that, and the other thing. You get a whole bunch of Google alerts on each and every one of them. I specifically focus on eBay because right now I sell exclusively on eBay right now. As far as like with what do you call it there? With Bonanza, haven't had a sale on Bonanza in almost a year. So. If you think eBay is bad, check out Bonanza. No offense to Bonanza, but I'm just trying to say the as far as sales go, forget about it. I mean, I think since the time I signed up with Bonanza and been with them, I think I only made 10 sales. And that was over a year ago. So, whatever. Let me get into the news. I'll talk a little about this here, and then I want to, expand a little on each of the topics. And for those who are new, I do not read all the websites verbatim, so I will give you the URLs, and the rest is up to you if you like to pick up where I left off. Okay, because I can't read all. There's not that many opened up, but I don't want to expand too much in each topic. I just want to kind of try to be cryptic of each of the topics, and just move on and close this video out, because it is going to get, I have an appointment to be out of here at a certain time, so I want to try to wrap this video up as quick as possible. So let's get right to it. Let me just bump out of here. There we go. Okay, here you can see, I put my glasses on for this here you can see now mind you, some of the dates on here are going to be, they may be a couple days old. This one here might be a few months old. Let's see with this here. Okay, they want you to acknowledge that. All right. This one here is from the Telegraph. All right, let me give you the URL. It's www.telegraph, one word, .co.uk. This one, it goes on to say here, this was posted, eBay sellers likely are sitting ducks waiting to be scammed. This one, I'm trying to look at the date though, folks. I'm sorry. Apologize about that. Okay, this one came out. All right. It came out, it's September 2018, all right, last year it came out. All right, so I know you probably say, well, it's last year stuff, I know. But it's still, there's a new one that's coming out that's already new here. This goes on to say, like I said again, eBay sellers like me are sitting ducks waiting to be scammed. Okay, so it goes on over here, it says 4 years from now, when we first reported that eBay users protection systems were failing some of its users, Telegraph Money Postbag continues to receive complaints about the online auction site's money-back guarantee policy. The scheme, which is launched in 2013, promises to refund the buyer with the cost of an item if it does not arrive or is not as described. If such a refund, and it goes over here, if such a refund is made, the seller has the money deducted from their account. Okay. eBay says guarantee ensures buyers can shop hassle-free and in the knowledge that they will receive the item they purchased or their money back. Now, I understand what eBay wants to do with this here. They want to assure the buyers that, hey, don't worry. If you buy off of eBay, you're going to be okay. You got the hassle-free returns. You don't have to worry about it, Don't worry about it. But at the same time, by them looking out so much for the buyer, what does that entail? Tell the seller. What's the seller supposed to do? And that's what happened in my situation. If that guy said, well, I want a full refund, I would have fought it. Most likely, knowing eBay, they would have felt in the buyer's favor. So most likely, But I could be wrong. You guys may have stories out there telling me something different, but that's the way I see it. All right, there's not really much on there. I guess they want you to register or log in to read the rest of the article. It doesn't matter because I got another one anyway. But this is one of the stories that came out. And again, this is from the Telegraph, so you could check that out if you want to log in or read the rest of it. Like I said, again, I don't want to expand too much on the topic, but we do have one more coming up, basically the same thing. Now, this one came out this is Sunday, January 13, 2019. This is new. Okay, this one says, it's like the reverse. Sitting duck eBay sellers take a stand against scammers. Now, this guy's saying he's taking a stand against scammers. So it goes over here. It's a matter of principle as they fall victim to the auction site's lavish buyer protection. Again, same thing, buyer protection. Then it goes on to say here, Vishal Vora used eBay to auction 115 pounds. Well, that's looking in pounds, right? 115 baby Bijon bouncer. When the children had grown out of it, he washed it, he listed it as used, and accepted an offer of $56. Well, I'm going to say, what it is. It's UK pounds there. $56 plus $5 for shipping and handling from an expectant mother. As soon as it was delivered, the buyer complained that it was literally covered in feces and demanded a $20 reduction in the price. Vora offered $7.50, although the screenshot of the photo sent by the buyer did not show evidence of staining. That's another thing too. Now you got to worry about them. Some people lying. I don't know. Who knows? And then it goes on here. The buyer opened the case with the eBay, which advised she could return it and receive a refund. She was duly refunded by the company, but she never sent the bouncer back. Weeks later, Worrell found photos on the buyer's social media account showing her baby happily installed in it. Okay, for most eBay sellers, the story would end there. Vora, whatever, however, had decided to make a stand. He mailed the buyer demanding the item or his money back. She then reported him to the police for harassment. So he took her to court, and 2 years, 2 years after the sale, was awarded $62, whatever, 62 pounds. Okay, it happens often. Buyers think they're entitled to free goods due to the eBay's liberal approach to refunds. He says, my case wasn't about money, more about the principle. So you see, this is just an example of what's happening here. We all know, and people will realize that as time goes on, if you're new, that in some cases, if you have an issue with a buyer, they send it back not as described or whatever, defective. That's the other one there, defective, okay, whatever. They're going to want to get that back. In some cases, you heard stories where the buyer ended up having a thing and they still got refunded. They kept the item and they still got refunded. I don't know. I don't know if they claimed it was lost or whatever. There's so many different little stories and variables with this here. It makes you wonder sometimes. Here's another one over here. I'm looking as I'm talking to you guys. It says in 2014, Aurora issued legal proceedings after selling an iPhone 4 to a buyer who claimed the box arrived empty, despite proof that the post office and that the parcel weight corresponded with the handset. eBay refunded the buyer and eventually settled out of court. Okay, here's another one. Aurora is a legend of sellers to fallen victim. eBay's lavish buyer protection policy, launched in 2013, it refunds buyers who raise a dispute if an item is not received or not as described. The promise was to encourage buyer confidence in the online auction site, but it can be exploited by unscrupulous buyers to obtain free goods. Scores of sellers, both private and business, have contacted the Observer over the year to complain that the company is unquestionably, refunded the buyers who had failed to return the goods they thought or sent them back used, damaged, or substitute. I heard of stories like that as well. And it goes on. I mean, there's quite a bit here to read. I'm not going to read all of this here. There was one part there that the guy, there was one, let me see something here really quick if I could find this one I'm talking about. Let's see here. I don't know if you rejected. No, I'm just looking at something over here because it was something I could relate to. Claim the refunds. Oh, yeah, okay. This one, I'm skipping down, okay. All right, this person here sells, I think, car parts here, right? Anna Warbroska, all right, return car parts. All right, here's another one. I'm skipping down, like I said again, folks. Catherine Lewis was left out of her pocket after selling a coat. When the buyer claimed she had not received it, eBay issued a refund. But when Lewis studied the feedback about the buyer, she got a shock. All the message told the same story. She says, buyer claimed item didn't arrive. eBay gave refund, even on the items that were signed for. Worse, the buyer has been reported to eBay 3 times before this, and no action was taken. Only when the Observer intervened did eBay refund Lewis. Now, the reason why this particular case appeals to me is because I tell people, I did a video about this once before, and apparently, I guess it doesn't really make too much sense. I would tell people, if you're a buyer or if you're a seller that's been having an issue with buyers claiming they haven't returned, they haven't received an item. My thing was to protect yourself outside of even though eBay offers that free delivery tracking with their when you make the purchases off eBay to buy the shipping label. Put signature delivery confirmation on there. This way, somebody has to sign for it. Okay, but looking at this now, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if somebody's signing for something, they're signing for it, right? Unless they have a different process over there. My take is if you have a problem like that, if you got burnt once like that, going forward, pad it into your price, send the item out with signature delivery confirmation because somebody physically has to sign for it. The letter carrier won't leave it because I did a video about porch thieves, if you quite remember, if you all people follow me. where people would see packages on the porch. They come up there, rob it, take it and run away with it. This way, if you did it with the signature delivery confirmation, they have to, if there's nobody there to sign for it, the letter carrier will bring it back to the post office, and I think you have 2 days or 3 days to claim it before they send it back to the sender. Okay? Now, it sounds like a contradiction what I'm saying here, but folks, I don't know. As you can see from reading this story here, even though it was signed for, they still claim that they still got their money back. But here's the thing. All right, what goes on in the UK is one thing. What I'm saying, though, and I still stand by it, and I'm still going to do it going forward, I will, on expensive items, watches, jewelry, laptops, computers, certain things that are a certain amount of money, I am going to use signature delivery confirmation. Somebody is going to have to sign for that, because for the simple reason, when buyers order something and they say they never received it, you got the tracking that it was tracked and was delivered, but they could say they never received it. This way, if you do have signature delivery confirmation, hopefully somebody will sign for it, and that should put a stop to packages getting lost or stolen. That's what I think. Again, that's totally up to you. Whether you want to follow that advice from me or whatever, that's totally up to you. But anyway, that's the story. You want to check it out. Let me give you the URL. It's www.theguardian.com. And just look for Sitting Duck eBay sellers take a stand against scammers. Let me bump out of here. And the other site, I know some people probably don't like this here. The people might think I'm a chronic complainer. I'm not. I'm not a chronic complainer. I just like to share this information with the new sellers, the new subscribers on there. And if they're on new eBay sellers, they may want to know about this site. And this site is, just to share with you, it's called downdetector.com. And I'm going to show you how to get there really quick. When you go to the window, that is the URL, downdetector.com. It's www.downdetector.com. When you go to that window, it's going to bring a whole array of other companies that you could check up on. As you can see here, Amazon, AT&T, Spectrum, YouTube, Gmail, and so on. It goes on and on. What you want to do is when you get to the eBay logo, click it on, and you're going to read. They also have live outage maps too. If you click on the live outage map, you click that on, it'll show you where there are outages. Now, when they say outages, I don't think they mean power outages. At least I don't think so. I think those are probably maybe server issues, maybe where it went down, or these are people who are experiencing. And when you zoom in case you can't see it, you can move it with your mouse cursor. When you zoom in, it'll bring up what's being affected, what states. Now, according to this here, let's zoom out a little here because I think I zoomed too quick. You can see over here New York, Philadelphia area has something going on, Boston, up near Milwaukee, Chicago. All these little highlighted ones here in the yellow. I guess the ones in a dark brown or orangey color, those must be the severe ones. I don't know. Now, it could be a slow slow net. Maybe the internet's congested. People are, too many people on the server trying to hit it, whatever. Who knows? I don't know. Or maybe it's a software glitch. Who knows? But it's showing you, these are the states it's showing you. Okay, and then it also will take you to the international area, United Kingdom, Manchester. These are the ones experiencing problems as well. Okay, but yeah, you could check out the live outage map too. Okay, it says the eBay outage chart, whatever. I think there also has a chart as well. But yeah, this will show you some of the stuff too. Here's the reports, though, what people have most reported problems right now with eBay. If you have a problem with eBay, and you can see I'm on their site, this is their sites right here. You could click this button on, you can respond, but I think you have to sign up with them. Right now, or most report, I can't say now, but these do change on a daily basis. This right now is saying 72% are experiencing website problems. Login issues is 16%, and checkout 11%. Then if you want to look at the old stuff, the old information, you can go to the resolved issues if you care to check them out. These are all active hyperlinks, and you can click on and see what people were experiencing back in December 15. Well, actually, it's got two of them for there. Oh, okay. Must be a lot of problems for December 15th. I should check that myself. And then that was the last one. You could check out those, though. But this is now here's the other thing I want to tell people. When you see the old dates, don't think that's old news. You got to scroll down here and look. See, this was 15 hours ago, 18 hours ago. Okay, this will update as well. Okay, But like the first one here, I'm not going to read all these here because there's quite a bit. One of my buy accounts username suddenly changed and is not showing a purchase history. This looks like looks like some sort of system hack. Is it happening to anyone else? And these are people that write back and forth, okay? And they acknowledge. Now, some people may say the people that come on these sites are negative. They project a negative energy, whatever, or a negative outlook about selling on eBay. But the bottom line is these are people that are voicing their opinions. Okay, I don't really contribute to this here. I mean, I will hit this site on a once in a while basis to see what's going on. But I really don't interact because I really don't want to feed into that either. I don't want to create a feeding frenzy with this here. But for those of you who are curious to know maybe what's going on. Now, certain things I have to say, going to these sites, these sellers will bring out things that I wasn't even aware of. So you got to take that in perspective too, and you say, okay, well, all right, you can find out certain things from them by going to these sites. Outside of thinking they're bad, you could also check them out. This one over here, now this person here doesn't seem to be too happy. He writes over here, good reason to leave eBay if not doing well. And that's why I did. That's why I did what I did. I always said buyers are out there and shopping more online, just like me. Online holiday sales increased 16.5% to over 126 billion this year. Of course, they're not talking about him, according to Adobe Analytics. So why are so many eBay sellers going down and down? Simple. eBay is losing the market share, and it's time to expand to other venues. Okay. And then it goes on to say here, has anybody figured out how fee hell I'm putting a lot of stuff in a dead pile on auction just to get my inventory down and out of eBay, right? And you could read a lot of these here. I mean, you could read a lot of these things here, a lot of these comments, because it goes on and on and on. And don't think it's just that. When you click on load more, you can read some more there. So that's downdetector.com. Here's one over here. Another one. This is from the eBay community, folks. Now, I know I already heard a couple people saying one time you can't always go by what's on the eBay community. These are a lot of negative people that put out a lot of negativity. But the bottom line is, folks, if you look at it that way, is one way. I look at, I'm trying to look at all the facts, right? And like this person here says, my overall sales were down 50% from last year as well. Mainly, I didn't sell the key items in my field, streetwear, mostly Supreme clothing, and another thing that it affected the market was a company that allows sellers to cash out their items. I was being undercut and lowballed left and right, but I couldn't blame the consumers for trying to get the most out of their money, which is true. And look, I have all my listings have best offer, and I know people want to say, but I don't want to get the bang for the buck, so to speak, and that's fine. Just don't give me a lowball offer that it's so lowball that I don't respond to you. Make a reasonable offer, and I'll accept it. And then it goes on to say you have a good feeling about 2019 because I've already done some good sales. Now I looked up this person here, and they do seem to be doing okay in sales. All right. Sometimes the people that say that you might be thinking like, oh, okay. People might be sitting there saying, "No, I'm not doing good in sales." And you look them up, and you find out later on they are doing good in sales. I don't know why they would say that. Maybe they just want to say that to make it feel good. But whenever people say I'm not doing good in sales, I go to their sites and I look on the sold listings. And there was one person that I thought wasn't doing too good in sales. They had sales for every day of the month, last month, and right up to the present today, which is January 16th. So there are people making sales every single day, and they were making sales every single day in December, and so on and so forth. Okay, so people are making money on eBay. It's just that there are a selective, well, not selective few, but a percentage of people that ain't. And I'm one of them. But I'm going to hang in there, folks. I'm hanging in there. But this one here is the eBay community. This is their chat board, not mine. You can see it right here on the top here, the hyperlink, whatever URL I should say. And it's right there. That's eBay. It's not me. I'm not making this stuff up. This is me over here. Okay. I don't always respond to these things. It depends what it's all about. Then I will, act on it. I'll expand a little on a topic by leaving or sharing a post or leaving a remark on it. But for the most part, I like to see what other people are, talking about. So let's get out of that. You know where there is, just type in eBay community and you will you could check out the home, the seller news, knowledge base, and so on and so forth. Let's bump out of that. And I want to go here. Now we'll go to a little different one here. Now we'll talk a little about the eBay news. This is from The Sun. The URL is www.thesun.co.uk. And it's trash to treasure. Mom earns 1,200 pounds. Okay, I guess say it's pounds. Like I said, it's all UK stuff. From selling unwanted clothes and junk on eBay. How you could do it too. Karen McTweed, 53, on Elderslie, near Glasgow, uses money to pay for the family's holiday. Well, that's what happens sometimes, folks. Sometimes people use eBay just to make a supplemental income. Some people do it for a living, hopefully. And, I guess in this lady's situation, she's doing it to make some cash, extra cash. It goes on to say a mom of two earns about 1,200 pounds a year selling unwanted clothes and household junk on eBay. Karen McTweed of Elderslie near Glasgow has paid for family holidays with the money she makes from decluttering her cupboards. And now she's revealed how you could do the same. Okay. Then it goes on to say here, says she made 12,500, I guess, like I said again, it's in pounds, over the course of 10 years. All right, well, that's 10 years. That's all right. By selling unwanted clothes on eBay. If you could do that a year, or within maybe half a year, that'd be good too. But if you could do that a year, all right, this is over 10 years, but it's okay. I mean, some people have stuff laying around. She might be like me, into minting. I registered with eBay since back in 1999, and I haven't been really selling on it, so that may be the situation too. But anyway, and then it goes on to say over here, by auction off kids' old clothes and unwanted items, GP, a practice nurse, says that she made 12,500 worth of sales in 10 years. She's been selling on eBay. Okay. Karen, who became a grandmother for the first time in November, explained why she started selling off her family's old clothes on eBay just over a decade ago. She said, at the time, I was a single mom. I had some health issues and was only working part-time. I started selling my kids unwanted grown-out clothes to make some extra cash. And then it goes on to here, it shows you some of the things that she sold. All right. And then it goes on here. If you want to read this notation here, you could probably stop the video if you want. And it goes on here, how to be a successful eBay seller, and she gives some tips here. Okay, list things accurately. Beware of new charges. Don't put it off by being too much work. Remember the 3 golden rules. Set the right amount of postage and packaging. Close your auction on Sunday. Watch out there for sellers' fees. And that's her explanation. There's still a little more you could read over here. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I mean, this is good. This is good information, though. Here's how to sell on eBay. How to sell on eBay. So you could check this out if you get a chance. I would definitely check it out, especially if you're a newbie and you want to learn how to sell stuff on eBay. You can get some pretty good advice with her. And let's see what this one over here. Now we talk about stuff that's sold on eBay. And this one over here, it says Stephen Curry's moon landing shoes sell for $58,100 on eBay. This came out January 14, 2019. I have to say, it's unbelievable. Let's see, Stephen Curry's moon landing shoes. All right, I'm not gonna expand too much on this here. Apparently, they 58,000. Am I reading this right here? 58,000. Wow. Okay. Anyway, it goes on to say a pair of game-worn Under Armour Currys 6S with images of the moon on them sold for $58,000 on eBay Sunday. Golden State Warriors star Stephen Curry, who wore kicks during a January third game against the Houston Rockets a few weeks after he lit the internet on fire by suggesting during an episode that the Ringers Wing It Out podcast that the moon landing was staged. Oh, okay. I didn't get a chance to read the whole story here. Yeah, you can read the rest of the story. I'm not going to expand too much on this, folks. But the only reason I put it on is because it is an eBay story. So, hey, guy got 58 grand for it. Good for him. I wish I could get 58,000. That'd be pretty good. That'd be a nice year's salary for somebody, right? Okay, let's get rid of this one here. What is this story here? Scarf knitted by commuter in a protest at a train delays. Delays. I'm thinking of Delray, California. Train at delays sold for $1,000 on eBay. Whew. What am I thinking here? Okay, I think it's time for a cup of coffee soon. A scarf knitted by a German commuter to show how delayed her trains have been sold for thousands at auction. The 1.5 meter long red, blue, and gray scarf sold for $7,550 and $6,721. What? Wow, on eBay with 134 bids from 45 bidders. Wow. Oh, okay. The commuter who lives in Munich area. I didn't get a chance to read the story. That's why I'm a little baffled here, folks. Lives in Munich area and knit a scarf during the 2018 using different colored stripes representing how delayed the Deutsche Bahn trains were, according to her daughter, Sarah Weber, who posted a picture of the scarf on Twitter. Wow. Gray stripes denote a delay of under 5 minutes. Pink stripes for between 5 and 30 minutes. And red when the trains were delayed more than 30 minutes. In 2018, 1 in 4 trains were delayed. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Anyway, I'm not going to expand too much on that. That's pretty good, I have to honestly say, for a scarf. Wow. I know this is in pounds, but I'm just saying. But at least that's what I think it is. Is that the pound sign? I guess. Well, yeah. This is yeah, UK. That's pretty good. That's really great. It is what it is, folks. Let me give you the URL. It's www.independent.co.uk, and you can read that story. Fascinating. I didn't think scarf would sell that much. And last one is, here we go. This is from, let me give you the URL, www.thenational.scot, S-C-O-T, /news. Well, anyway, you could just check it out. Pre-World War II bottle of Buckfast selling on eBay for almost $800. Okay. It goes on to say a bottle of Buckfast dating back to before the Second World War has been discovered in Glasgow attic, and it is selling on eBay for almost £800. Jonathan Porter was cleaning out his parents' house when he made a discovery in the loft. Buckfast makers G. Chandler and Company confirmed that the bottle was made before 1936, meaning that it is over 80 years old and probably shouldn't be drunk. Yeah, I don't think so. I wouldn't even be dead for that, to drink that. Anyway, it says we are speaking on ST News. Porter said my grandparents owned an off license on Duke Street in Glasgow before Second World War. It is right there, right? Yeah. And it says, then it goes on to say here, while I was helping out my dad to tidy up the attic, I found the box with lots of things from the shop in it. This bottle, this is the bottle included. Let's see here. Wow. Okay. And what else it says over here? Let's see. I'm trying to read. I'm not going to read too much more into this, folks. You can read the rest of this story. I want to really close this video out because I do have to be leaving soon. And, you know, as much as I like to expand on certain topics, I don't want to expand too much on this. But you can check it out. You can read the rest of it. It's pretty interesting, you know, considering, you know, it's funny when you find things like this here of this nature, where you can get these things and you know, sell them for a good price. That's great, you know. I haven't seen things like that in a while, but well, I shouldn't say that particular bottle of booze, what do you want to call it, but I have seen stuff in antique shops that were old looking bottles like this here, and I don't know if they had labels on them, but they were old. They might have advertisements on them, whatever, but I never really took note to buy any of that stuff because I don't know if those things would sell. I mean, and they would sell them for pretty decent prices in the antique shop, you know. So for me to buy something like that and take a gamble on it, and if it doesn't do good, I don't know. That's not for me. But anyway, I'm going to end this video out. Again, I gave you a URL. You could check it out if you get the time. And I'm going to close this video out, folks. Let me just bump out of here. And I just want to say again to all the new subscribers, thank you for subscribing to my channel. It is greatly appreciated. I do hope you like the content I put out. I do hope you get a takeaway from it. And if you do, please don't hesitate to subscribe, like, comment, and share. I will be doing, like I said, daily vlogs whenever I can, talk a little about different topics. This one here just happens to be some eBay news, which I wanted to share with you guys. And I just want to say in closing, for those who do follow me and have been with me, you know, since they subscribed, since they found my channel, I don't want to sound like a chronic complainer, because I'm not really a chronic complainer, but I do have to express myself though when it comes to certain issues. And I don't want people to get the impression like, oh, if I go on this guy's site, he's going to complain about different. I'm not here to complain, folks. I just want to bring things out to people's attention and just try to, you know, give you a little insight as to what's going on, especially if you are a seller on eBay. You know, it's always good to know what's going on within that, especially if you're in that circle, that inner circle. You know, I know they have Facebook groups. I do. I have a Facebook group. If you'd like to join it, it's called the eBay Top Rated Sellers Group. It's an open group. Anybody could join, and you don't have to be an eBay quote unquote top rated seller. You could be an Etsy seller, a Poshmark seller. You could be any type of seller on Mercari, whatever. It's an open forum. You're all welcome to join. Okay. You don't need to be top rated seller to be that. And the whole purpose of that group, which is growing, believe it or not, I didn't think it would take off the way it did. You're there to ask questions. Hopefully people will be able, there are other experienced sellers out there. Well, including myself, I consider myself semi-experienced. I mean, you know, I've been on eBay since 1999, but on and off, but I think I have some, you know, some experience to share with you guys out there. But there are other, there are other group members out there that may, you know, attend to your concerns and issues that if I can't, I mean, I go on it on a daily basis to check to see what people, you know, who wants to, you know, sign up for the group. So I go on there, I do basic reading on it, do a little expansion on there, and then I will eventually, you know, go to the other ones. I got other Facebook groups as well. So I try to hit each one of them on a daily basis to see what's going on. If there are people trying, you know, talking to me, you know, want to communicate with me for some reason or another. And I try to keep on top of that there. Plus Twitter as well. You know, I'm on Twitter. Of course, I'm on YouTube, as you know. Instagram, I just did a video on Instagram before, just talking a little about myself, a little about the situation, you know, kind of like a daily vlog type of thing with Instagram. And Twitter, like I said, I don't interact too much with Twitter, but I think the last time I looked, I think I had 1378 followers or something like that. So that Twitter group is growing. And you're more than welcome to, you know, follow me on Twitter as well, and it's Facebook, you know. But I do hope the content I do put out, folks, is helpful in some way. And I do hope you get a takeaway from it. Maybe, you know, certain things, there may be certain topics or things that concerns that you may want me to talk about. Please leave it in a comment below if you want to hear me discuss different things. I don't know. You think of them. I can't. But if I can't, and the other thing is, on my old videos, especially on the how-tos or like the demos, or because I do demo and sneak peek demo videos and intro videos, and on some of my intro videos, or I should say the demo videos, like for example, I'm selling a printer or a clock radio, I would be getting, well, within this year, I've gotten some comments from people asking me questions about, well, for example, I think I sold a Panasonic clock, either Panasonic or Sony, and a person was asking, how do you set the time frame, you know, how do you set the time on there? I can't get certain things to function there. And I tell the people, it's not my personal product, so I don't have any books, user books to get, you know, to give you. But I'll do the research for you, give you the URL where you can get it, and I know you probably said, well, they could do the same thing too. If they don't, they don't. I don't care. I'm here to help people. So if people say, well, they could do the same exact thing, why do you waste it? I don't mind helping people. That's what this YouTube channel is all about, folks. It's to help people out. I give free information away. And like I said before in my other videos, I don't have a book to sell you. I don't have a dream to sell you or a book to sell you. Anything I do it with the heart. I give it out. I don't mind doing information. I don't mind giving information out. That's what this channel is all about. And if you got a question or a comment you want to leave with me, I'll be more than happy to answer, as long as they're nice comments, But I will help you out. And if I can't get the answer, I will make sure somehow, some way, I will get that information back to you. Okay? That's what this channel is all about, folks. It's to help people out too. Okay? I'm not here to be selfish. All right? Even though I am trying to grow this channel, I can't seem to get it. I'm trying to get it to I would like to get at least 1,000 subscribers, and that is the hardest part of finding right now. But then again, if you follow YouTube, getting off of the other topic, if you try to follow YouTube, they always say the first hundreds are hard to get. So considering, where I am right now with my channel, I'm pretty happy with it right now. Hey, listen. Like last week or the week before, I had 2 subscribers. I lost 2 subscribers. Gained 3 subscribers. Lost 3 subscribers. It goes up and down. Is that going to deter me from keep making YouTube videos? Absolutely, positively not. I will definitely not give up on my YouTube channel. So if people do take a liking to me and they want to hear me out and hear the things I want to talk about, unless I'm being called home, if you get my drift, I will be more than happy. Hopefully I'll be here to answer your questions and to produce nice, clean content videos. And that's the other thing I want to say too to the new subscribers. This video, this YouTube channel is a clean content channel. I do not discuss religion or politics on here. Why? Because they're very touchy subjects. 2, I don't really discuss. I don't want to get into those topics because they could be a heated topic, and in some cases it may be something that maybe a person's not really interested in talking about. They're not bad, believe me. They're not bad. I have my political views on how I look at things. I also have my religious views how I look at things. So I mean, I don't want to get into a debacle with anybody. If someone's, let's say I did do a follow-up or something along that line where I am talking about politics or religion, I don't want to get into rebuttal. People sitting there saying, well, you know what I'm talking about. It goes back and forth. And I don't want to deal with that topic. Like I said again, there's nothing wrong with them. Now, there are, I'm sure, YouTube channels that do have, that are out there that deal with religion and politics. I'm sure if you do a Google search or a YouTube search about today's politics or today's religion, you're going to probably get a whole array of other companies out, other YouTube creators out there touching on these topics. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's just nothing wrong with it. I just don't want to deal with it right now. I mean, maybe in the future, I may throw a little blurb out there, not to stir a controversy, just to maybe talk about a certain topic or an issue that maybe that person is bringing into focus or something like that. But otherwise, I'm not going to sit there and start talking about stuff like that. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with it, folks, but that's not for me. But anyway, I'm looking at the time over here, guys. I could talk all day on this. I love interacting with people. That last thing I do want to say in regards to doing YouTube and selling on eBay, it is a very lonely life, to be honest with you. If you don't have anybody around, I'm working solo, so the kids, my daughters are up, working and doing their own thing. So, when you're home for 8 hours by yourself, you tend to look towards the YouTube to converse with people. But actually, the funny thing is, you do want to interact with people, but you're really interacting with I'm talking to my webcam here, But no, it's true, and I find that out that, and it's not bad, believe me, because this pertains to me. But since the time I've been out of my job, the layoff. And you're working solo like this, you're doing, you're listing or you're doing YouTube videos, you will find that it is a very lonely life. For me, it is anyway. Maybe there are other people around that's, got a different situation. You might have your young kids. My kids are older now, so they're not going to hang around with their dad, mom, whatever. They want to go out and do their own thing. But, it's a whole different ball game. When the kids get older and you're in a house and you know you're doing this for a living, it's kind of quiet and very lonely. It's a lonely life, but and I think that's why sometimes people like to interact, on chat boards and stuff like that, because it's another means of communication. You're out there talking. I found myself, to be honest with you, maybe you guys could agree to disagree or whatever, doing this here. I want to hear from you, for the YouTube or YouTube creators. Do you find yourself that you more or less, well, I would say more, but interact on more, you're more vocal, like going on chat boards, community chat boards, or maybe you do video lives? Do you find yourself doing that more, like you want to be out there, like, you know what I'm saying? YouTube is an open forum, and people will come from all different walks of life to look at your videos, hopefully. And well, you can see that through your trending or analytics. You'll see what countries are watching your videos and stuff like that, the age group and all that, men, women, whatever. But I do find that since I've been out of work, because now you're not interacting with your office workers anymore. It's just you and a computer, and I do find it that way. I do find that I am more outgoing in a sense. Like when I go to thrift stores, I will talk to people I don't even know. But I made a lot of friends at the thrift stores because they're online sellers too, resellers. So I found that I'm become more interactive. I'm more sociable. I'm not saying I was a person that was always reclusive at my job. I always kept to myself. I never talked to people. If anything, I was very outgoing. And I guess that's why, for me, some people, I have family members that wouldn't even think about doing a YouTube channel. They wouldn't even want to put themselves on there. I hit people. I don't want people seeing my face on there and talk. Hey, listen, if you're putting out good, clean content, this is an open forum. People are going to come on from, are going to produce videos that are all from all different walks of life. As long as it's nice, clean content. I was just watching the guy from YouTube Creators, whatever it was, one of those things there, Creators Academy, something like that. And he was talking about, what YouTube, they're going to kind of start looking into people who use profanity on there. And I think they're going to I don't think they're going to take them off, or they're going to get warnings, whatever, on their videos. Oh, let's be honest. Would you want to see a person come onto a video, you're going to a YouTube channel and a person comes out and they start throwing the F-bomb, boom, F this, F that, this, and use up profanity. And that's the other thing. I don't use profanity on this channel. So this is, as far as I'm concerned, this is a kid-safe video, it's a YouTube channel. It is, the kid-safe channel. And if you're a mom or a dad, or you just happen to be home and let's say you do subscribe, or you just hit my channel by accident, whatever, because you were curious about a topic I put out, and you don't have to worry about telling your kids, hey, go into the next room because I don't know what this guy's all about. You're not going to hear profanity come out of my mouth. I'll tell you right to boot. That's not going to happen. Okay? I am not going to sit there. I'm not going to sit there and come up and get on this YouTube channel and start cursing up a storm. I don't believe in cursing. I don't believe in profanity. Now I'm saying, oh, you never heard these bad words before? Of course. I just don't want to use them. I don't like them. I don't, even off camera, I don't use profanity. It's not part of my language, you know what I'm saying? People use it though, It's just like if you're driving a car and somebody cuts you off or whatever it may be, they flip you the bird, I don't want to do hand gestures. You won't see me doing hand gestures, with the middle finger and stuff like that. I don't do stuff like that. Teach my kids the same thing. I was just reading not long ago about road rage. A while back, somebody flipped the person a bird or whatever, or cursed them out, and the next thing you know, the person got out of the car, beat him up. I don't know if the person died, whatever. You hear all these stories, and I tell my kids all the time, when you're on the road, be careful, drive safe, don't go on your cell phones. Right, the new cars today, they have the thing there where you could talk online, not online, they have the, know what you could talk through the car. It's already, the thing is Bluetooth enabled in the car, so you don't have to pick up the phone and talk. I tell my kids, if you don't have to, stay off the cell phones when you're driving. The only time I call, or if they would call me, or if I would call, is an emergency. car broke down, or I'm going to be coming home late, I'm at the job still, whatever it may be. Those are typical calls. But to sit there and talk, oh yeah, well, you know, I'm on my way to the department store, I'm going to go buy shoes and pants or whatever. You know, you don't need to talk about that. That's not important stuff, to be honest with you. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I think that's a waste of time to sit there and talk about that there. And the other thing is of course, drive cautiously. And if you do have a situation where a person cuts you off, or vice versa, you know, maybe you weren't paying attention, you drifted into somebody's lane, whatever, hopefully not, and somebody, but you corrected the problem, and somebody drives by you and they flip you a bird, they curse you out, roll down the window, start cursing and mouthing off to you, just say, I'm sorry, and let them be gone. Because you don't know who you're dealing with out there. There are a lot of people out there that have all different situations going on in their life, and you know, you might catch the person at the wrong time and, you know, tick that person off. So you got to be careful, you know. But for the most part, though, the main thing is to, if you're gonna do anything in this world, do it with good intentions, and that's what this YouTube channel is all about, folks. I want to do it with good intentions, and I hope people will get a takeaway from it and come back for more. But anyway, I don't know if I'm going to be producing any more videos for today. I think this is going to be a wrap-up. I usually like to try to do 2 a day, but like I said, I got to run out. I got some last-minute things to do here, so I will talk to you guys the next time. This is Rich Pasini signing off. Have a great day. Be safe. And thanks again for checking out my video. Bye-bye now.